guys, how you going? So today on BKR Sport, we're going to be doing a video where we're going to be going through all 16 international rugby league teams at this year's Rugby League World Cup, and we're going to be giving you my thoughts of a player that you need to be watching out for. It's not necessarily any, there's no specifics that are needed to tell you which player. It's just a player that I think I'm going to be watching out for, and I'll explain the reasoning as to why you should keep an eye on them. They're either a good player or an integral player to their team, or just someone who's quite fun to watch. So let's get into it. Let's go through all 16 teams. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and let me know in the comment section who we should be looking out for in your country. First up here, guys, we have Australia, and I have to go with Latrell Mitchell here. He'll be in the centres, obviously normally with partner Tommy Trbojevic, but he's injured there, so he needs to be the big centre. We don't know the centre pairing just yet. Is Burton going to be there? Is Jack Whiten going to be there? Is Val Holmes going to be there? There's a lot of question marks around who is going to be that second centre alongside Latrell. Not saying they're not quality, but it's just that we don't know who that solidified centre is alongside Latrell yet. So I think for me, with Latrell Mitchell, he's got a very big personality where he's going to want to show out and show off himself and really put himself onto the front stage there. He's not the fullback like he normally would be at the Rabbitohs, but he is one of the best centres in the game when he plays there. Originally played in the centres for the Roosters, obviously, and plays New South Wales in the centres because Tedesco's the fullback, obviously. So, look, really looking forward to Latrell Mitchell, what he can provide here, and you're going to see how good he is in centre. He's actually a better centre than he is a fullback, and he's a great fullback, but he's a better centre than he is a fullback. Jamaica! Jamaica at the World Cup for the first time. How exciting, but it's not going to be a good outing for them in regards to the scorelines. However, it's going to be a little bit of fun with Jamaica. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them play, and my player is going to be Ashton Golding. Now, this is a player that you kind of should know from Huddersfield. He plays in the Super League. He's an electric player who's probably going to top them in regards to try scored. Really nifty player that is going to be an exciting one to watch out for. Obviously, like I said, Jamaica is not going to be winning any games this time round, and more than likely will have a score put through them. But if anyone's going to score a try, it's going to be Ashton Golding. So keep an eye out for Ashton from Jamaica. The Cookies, the Cook Islanders. Oh boy, is that going to be fun to watch. Yes, it's going to be interesting to see because they are an emerging nation. They're not a big time team. They want to eventually be like the likes of Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and those boys in the Pacific. But overall, they're not there yet, as you guys were seeing with my previews. But the player to look out for is Kyle Ero. He actually has a contract with the Cronulla Sharks and just re-signed with them. Won New South Wales Cup Player of the Year last year for the Newtown Jets. Really solid player. Isn't going to be the best player that you've ever seen, but has the ability to be that on his given day. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with Cook Islands because they're not going to be that great. They're still probably going to come third in their group, but definitely watch out for Kyle Ero. Big Bong, the host of the nation, and we've got England. Now, this is one that I'm actually kind of taking myself from when I watched their warm-up game over the weekend against Fiji. As you guys know, I'm going to be getting into the Super League a lot more next year. This year, I don't really know an unbelievable amount of guys from the Super League, but Andy Ackers, he was good, man. He was really good against Fiji, I thought. I thought he was really nifty out of dummy half. I think he's a great little hooker there. And I really look forward to seeing what he can provide here for England, who believe they can win this tournament, obviously. If they're going to win the competition, they're going to have someone that can rival the likes of Brandon Smith in New Zealand or Harry Grant and Ben Hunt in the hooker roller in Australia. So Andy Ackers is going to have a really big tournament. So look out for him. He needs to be a very influential figure. And if he plays anywhere like he did against Fiji, I tell you what, he is going to be the guy that you need to watch out for. Greece. Greece. This is their first time, I believe, in a World Cup as well. And as Jamaica will find out as well, it's not going to be that great for him. It's not going to be great in regards to results. But obviously, Lachlan Ilias from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He is their starting half at the South Sydney Rabbitohs alongside Cody Walker. He's going to be the guy here for Greece. And if you watch the NRL, then you know exactly why he's the guy you're going to look out for. Very good defensively, has really come into his own this year later on. Got knocked out in the prelims, but in the same sense was a really good player for the most part of the second part of the year anyway. He took his time to get into it as a rookie, but definitely watch out for Lachlan Ilias. He's going to be the guy that needs to be on the front foot for the Greeks, and even though they're not going to win, I'd like to see a lot out of him just so that he can kind of continue to evolve as a player. Oh boy, here comes the New Zealanders, the Kiwis. They've got a good chance. They've got a really, really good team. So where do I go? Do I go to the back row? Do I go to the forwards? Do I go to the halves? I'm going to go to the centres. I'm going to say Sebastian Kris here. And the reason I say Sebastian Kris is because they've got an unbelievable amount of depth in their forwards. Probably the best forward pack in the competition right now. Their halves, they're fine. Hooker, fine. Fullback, fine. Their wings are great. The centers are a little bit concerning. So I think I need to see a lot of Sebastian Kris this time around because he is there alongside, I think, Peter Hiku. Those are the center pairing, unless they put Chance Nickel Clockstar in there. Overall, this is the most concerning part of their team. So I need to see a really good tournament of Sebastian Kris because they're going to be going up against the likes of Latrell Mitchell, Slash, Burton, White, and Val Holmes, right? That is really difficult to go up against there. So I need to see Sebastian Kris, who can have a good tournament. I need to see him have a good tournament because otherwise they could concede tries galore down that edge. So look, I think that Sebastian Kris is a good player, plays well for the Raiders, and had a really good game against Leeds, but it was against Leeds, obviously. And when you're talking about a preview, you need to preview them against the likes of Australia, England, Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, and the likes, not necessarily against the likes of Greece and who's another one? Wales, Ireland, Scotland kind of deal. You don't want to be throwing them down into those. I don't even know I said Ireland there, but those teams down there, you don't compare with those. So he'll be fine there. I just need to see those centres, specifically Sebastian Kris, stand up for the big games against the big bumpers like Australia. Scotland, we've got Scotland, and we're going to go with Ewan Aitken here. Now he's obviously been at the Dragons, and now he's at the Warriors. Now he's at the Dolphins. So he went from the Dragons to the Warriors to the Dolphins. I think that everyone knew he was a good player when he was at the Dragons. But then he kind of faded out, went to the Warriors, everyone really saw who he was, and now people are looking forward to seeing him at the Dolphins there. He's going to be a big player for Scotland because he's the only NRL talent that I really recognise from this team. And he's a really good player, man. He's a nifty player. He can play in the centres if you wanted to. You can play him in the back row. He is a very big dual threat there. And that's a positive when you're talking about... And Australia's brought this up, that you need to have players who can play in multiple positions. And Ewan Aitken can do just that. So I think it's a great pick up there for the Scottish. And I look forward to seeing what he can provide. Scotland aren't going to do too well in this tournament. But he is definitely the player to keep an eye on because Ewan Aitken, fantastic player. We go to Lebanon and we've got Jacob Kiraz here from the Canterbury Bulldogs. He would normally play centre for the Doggies, but he'll probably play in the fullback role for Lebanon. Sneaky team here, the Lebanese. Very sneaky team. They've got a good, cheeky little team. I know that I've compared them a lot with Ireland. I think Ireland could actually take a sneaky win over them, but I do not mind this Lebanese team. Their spine is actually quite good. It's just their normal, like their forwards and their backs that I'm kind of a little bit wayward on, but their spine's pretty good. However, I am interested to see how Kiraz does go in the fullback position, because like I said, he normally is in the centres for the Dogs. I haven't actually seen him play in the fullback, so I assume he'll be fine, but I am still concerned about the fact that I don't know what he'll be like in that other position, because not everyone translates well. Everyone thinks they can be a good fullback, but not everyone can be a good fullback. You know, look at Stephen Crichton, for example. Great centre. I don't see him as a good fullback. He's been at the fullback before. I didn't think it was great. So he's a prime example of a really good centre, but doesn't necessarily translate. The Welsh have Caleb Aikens. A lot of people don't really know Caleb Aikens. I think he's over there in the Super League right now, but he was originally actually at the Penrith Panthers back in the day when they weren't that great. Caleb Aikens will play their fullback role. He's really the only guy that I know about, so I'm going to be really focusing on him individually. But Aikens is a fast little player who can get on the front foot quite quickly. He's not the greatest player that you're ever going to see, but he definitely is going to be a massive impact for this team. So definitely keep an eye on Caleb Aikens. So Samoa, a big bopper team here. They're in for a hype tournament. Are they going to live up to the hype, or are they not going to live up to the hype? Jerome Luai is going to be a big part of that. He's going to be a really big part about proving that. If they live up to the hype, Jerome Luai is the guy. If they don't live up to the hype, Jerome Luai is also the guy. He has got a lot of expectations on him, and he's the guy you have to be watching out for. Is he going to get them on the front foot? They've got Anthony Milford there, not Nathan Cleary. So will Jerome Luai stand up and be the guy? I think that Luai needs to stand up over Milford. I actually think that. I think most people are going to say that Milford should be the real dominant 7, obviously, and Luai should be the 6 and just Roma. I think that Luai needs to be the dominant half there to really get Samoa going, because Anthony Milford, it's not 2015 anymore. So for me, definitely watch out for Jerome Luai. He's actually becoming underrated now because so many people hate him that they don't realise he's still a very good player. But he's a wanker too. Like, that's just, it is what it is. But that's a personality. It's entertaining. That's what we'd love to see. Everyone loves it to say, oh, I want the beef to come back. I want the entertainment value. But then when it comes, they're just like, oh no, that Rabbitohs Roosters game was shocking. And then, oh no, Jerome Luai's a wanker. We get him out of here. It's like, this is what you want. Entertainers. And he's an entertainer. So he's going to be entertaining to watch. Hopefully lives up to the expectation. And I know that he can. If he really puts his mind to it, I know Luai can be an incredible player. But can he translate without Cleary? That's a big question, so look out. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea, baby. Ooh. Woo! We love a bit of Papua New Guinea action here. Very, very strong team. Really excited to actually see the Papua New Guineans. It's going to be an awesome tournament for them. They're going to be solid. They're going to be strong. I really give them a chance to take down Tonga, but I think that Tonga might be that little bit too strong. But 13-1 odds. Jump on that, baby. Just seems a little bit of a sneaky. You know, don't put too much money on that. But 13-1 odds is ridiculous for Papua New Guinea there. Now, guys, Mackenzie Yeh. If you watch my streams a lot, you would know I really do back in Mackenzie Yeh. Had a great game against Fiji mid-season in those international test matches. Was okay in that game. Obviously, they got pumped, but was okay in that game against the Australian PMXI game, and he's going to be a really big forward for them. Yes, you can obviously look at the likes of Justin Olam and Alex Johnson and whatnot. Yes, you can look at the halves, the spine, but overall, I think that they're going to need to utilise these forwards because their backline's actually really good. I just want to throw that out there. Papua New Guinea's backline is actually probably their best backline that I've seen nearly ever. So it's their forwards are going to have to stand up, lay the foundation so their backs can score, because they will score. They will score, and Mackenzie Yeh is going to have to lead from the front in the front row. So watch out for Mackenzie, the big bump. Tosoviti. Oh, vatava. Tosoviti, baby. Bura vinaka. We got Sunda Torua from Fiji here. Obviously, my daughter is determined Fijian, so I love Fiji. I'm actually going to be there for this World Cup. I will be streaming from Fiji for this World Cup. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to be amongst the atmosphere over there in Fiji. But Sunda Toruva, how exciting of a player is he? Didn't play in that warm-up game. You've got to be careful about thinking Fiji are done because of that warm-up game. Sunda Toruva is the next big thing. He played so well against Papua New Guinea in their loss in the mid-season test. Sunda Toruva is going to be the fullback. Obviously, you shift Kevin Nguama either to the centres or to the 5'8 there. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. He obviously can't get into the Penrith Panthers team because Dylan Edwards is there, and Edwards is just incredible. Sunda Toruva, I think, won with the New South Wales Cup Penrith Panthers team. Unbelievable player. Really looking forward to the energy he's going to bring there to the team. He ran for a shitload amount of meters against Papua New Guinea, and man, he is so tough to lock down. So definitely watch Sunda Toruva. That's a victory, baby. Yahoo! We head along to the Irish, and it's going to be my boy, Jimmy Jolliffe, Jamin Jolliffe from the Gold Coast Titans. Obviously, I know Jimmy well. He's a great bloke, man, and I know how much work he puts in. I know how hard of a worker he is, and I know how underappreciated he can be because he's not necessarily the guy that you will straight up look at. You know, when you look at the Titans, you're looking at Tino, you're looking at David Feeder, you're looking at Mikey Fodawaker even. Jimmy Jolliffe is the kind of guy that will do some really hard work, just tackle, just run hard, just be a solid player without being anything crazy special, and they are what you need. He's a heavy effort player. His work ethic is phenomenal. So watch out for Jamie Jolliffe. Obviously, Luke Keary's there at the Irish too, but Jimmy Jolliffe, baby, get around the big fella. We want to go here, and we've got a bit of Italia. Whoa, Forza Italia. If you had to see me the other day on Instagram, I actually just left the mo there that I'll come back for November and was saying Forza Italia. But Forza Italia, in regards to Luca Moretti, I don't know a great deal about this player, but I'm encouraging you to watch him because he is a lot of the time put on the extended bench of the Parramatta Eels. He never usually gets his chance, but the fact of the matter is that when we spoke about this the other day and I said, I've actually never heard of Luca Moretti, then we found out he was on a lot of the extended benches for the Parramatta Squeals, and the chat at the time, the live chat, were telling me, like, yeah, he's always there. He just doesn't get his crack, and he's a good player. So, Luca Moretti, don't know much about him personally, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on him. I'm going to be keeping an eye on him because obviously he's a player just on the brink of making his Parramatta Eels debut. France. Whoa, oui, Francais, Mr. Fresh. Fouadia. Yes, of course, he was there at the last World Cup in 2017. He is a winger. He's going to be scoring their tries. France are actually not too bad of a team. I just want to throw it out there. Yes, I know they got beaten comprehensively by Tonga, and Tonga looked really poor in that game, so to concede 50 and that still happened, but I don't think France are that bad overall. And I think Fouad Yaha is going to be the guy who scores most of their tries. Great little play there. He's going to have to lead from the front foot in regards to putting in his opportunities. And he will get a couple of opportunities here and there, not frequently, but he's going to put away his opportunities. The finale, we've got Tonga here. Wowee, this is going to be a team. And obviously, I'm going to have to go and look at the forwards. Dave Fafita. We saw him score 3 tries on the weekend. People were saying maybe he doesn't start. He's not a good player anymore. You don't know what you're talking about if you say that. The Titans' issues this year was a club issue, not just a Dave issue. Yes, Dave doesn't help the situation sometimes by going to back, but that's because he knows he's not getting the ball in the right areas. Am I saying it's not Dave's fault? No, Dave is also part of the problem. But The problem isn't him. The problem is that the club unfortunately went way too young on the spine and he didn't get the ball that he normally would get. We saw that in 2021. 2022 didn't happen, obviously. He is an incredible player. Defensively, for the Titans this year, the effort was there. Attacking-wise, it just didn't see it. But the first game for a different team at Tonga, bang, 3 tries, and he looked unbelievable. So if you aren't watching for Dave Fafita, you're watching the wrong bloody player and you're watching the wrong game. Going to be a lot of players from Tonga that you want to obviously look at, especially, the likes of Silva Havili. You want to go and have a look at William Hapawade in the fullback role. Jason Tamalolo when he comes back from his suspension. Moeki Fotuaika to see if he can really get, a bit of a better season going too, because he didn't have a great year for the Titans. My guy, David Fafita, bing, bang, boom, wraps it up. That's what we're talking about, baby. Gotta love it. But anyway, guys, that's going to do us here for today's video. I appreciate you as usual. Obviously, smack that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. You guys know I stream every single day here, or create content every single day. Plus, we'll be streaming literally every single Rugby League World Cup game live here on the channel. So if you want an interactive commentary, talking to people in the chat, talking to me, watching the game, getting hyped up, getting excited, this is the place to be. So there you go, guys. I appreciate you as usual. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.